Here's what nobody tells you about your avoidant ex's rebound relationship. While you're analyzing their social media, wondering if they've finally changed for someone else, the reality behind closed doors is completely different. And once you understand how these rebounds actually collapse, you'll stop waiting around and start focusing on yourself. You gave everything to someone who couldn't give it back. Now they're with someone new, looking happy, doing all the things they never did with you. But avoidant rebounds follow a specific pattern that almost always ends the same way. Today, I'm walking you through exactly what's happening in that relationship, when it's going to fall apart, and why waiting for them to return keeps you stuck. More importantly, you're going to understand why choosing yourself is actually the best thing for you. Stick around, because what I'm sharing at the end about what happens after the rebound crashes will completely change how you see this. The illusion phase, weeks 1 to 8. Right after your breakup, when your ex jumps into something new, they're running on pure novelty. Everything feels easy because there's no history, no expectations, no pressure. The new person doesn't know their patterns yet. They haven't seen the withdrawal, the stonewalling, the emotional shutdown you experienced. During these first 2 months, your ex is getting a high from the newness. New romantic connections activate reward centers in the brain, creating that feeling where everything seems perfect. Your ex feels relief because this new person isn't asking them to process what happened with you. They're not requesting deeper intimacy. They don't know enough to ask for it yet. This is when you're seeing them look happiest. And it hurts. But here's what matters. They're not happy. They're distracted. Research shows people who jump into rebounds within a month show higher anxiety levels than they admit to. They're running, not healing. If that just clicked for you, hit the like button so I know this is resonating. And I'll tell you exactly when that catches up to them. The crack begins, months 2 to 4. Around month 2 or 3, the new person starts wanting more. They want to meet friends, have real conversations, make future plans. Basic relationship stuff. And this is when your ex's nervous system starts screaming. Avoidant attachment doesn't disappear because someone new shows up. It's a deeply wired response developed in childhood. When a caregiver was inconsistent or emotionally unavailable, the child learned that closeness equals pain. So they built walls. Get too close, and their brain interprets it as danger. They feel an overwhelming need to create distance. So what happens? Your ex starts doing exactly what they did with you. Less available. Picking fights over nothing, suddenly needs more space. The new person is confused because last month was perfect. But your ex is just reverting to their default setting. And here's what I need you to remember for later. This pattern repeats with every person until they do serious internal work to change it. The breaking point, months 4 to 6. By month 4 to 6, the rebound is usually in crisis or already over. The new person is hurt, frustrated, feeling exactly what you felt. They're asking, "Why won't you let me in?" Sound familiar? Avoidant individuals struggle to maintain relationships once the real connection deepens. They can mask their patterns early on, but the real them always surfaces. Always. The rebound crashes in one of 2 ways. Either the new person gets tired of the emotional unavailability and leaves, or your ex pulls the plug because they feel suffocated. Both stem from the same problem. Your ex hasn't changed. They've just changed partners. After the rebound falls apart, why is it so hard for them to come back? You understood them, you tried, you gave them space. Shouldn't they realize what they lost? Here's the truth. Coming back requires facing everything they ran from. You represent the relationship where they couldn't show up fully. You're the mirror reflecting their struggle with intimacy. Every memory with you is tied to discomfort about not being emotionally available. Avoidants often find it easier to start fresh with someone who doesn't carry that history than do the painful work of accountability. There's also the grass is greener mindset that's particularly strong in avoidance. They consistently believe better partners exist elsewhere. Even after a rebound fails, they're already scanning for the next escape. Not because the next person will be better, but because escaping feels safer than vulnerability. Think about what coming back would require. Admitting they struggled, apologizing, explaining where they've been, sitting with your hurt and anger, facing the possibility you might reject them. That's emotional exposure most avoidants find extremely challenging without serious therapy. Here's what usually happens instead. After the first rebound crashes, there's a short period where they're single, maybe weeks, maybe months. They might reach out with breadcrumbs during this time, a random text, a like on your photo, just enough to keep you as backup. But watch what happens next. They often find someone new. The exact same timeline plays out again. Honeymoon phase. Cracks appear. Breaking point. Move on. This isn't about you not being enough. This is about them having patterns that need healing. You could be the most patient, understanding, attractive person alive, and they'd still struggle. The challenge isn't external. It's internal. Until they recognize that and commit to changing through therapy and real work, they'll likely repeat this pattern. What do you do with this information? You stop waiting. You stop checking their social media. You stop holding space for someone who can't hold space for themselves. Because when you truly move on, you become unavailable to their future breadcrumbs. You heal your own wounds. You recognize red flags earlier. You develop the self-respect to walk away when someone can't meet you halfway. A healthy relationship doesn't feel like constantly trying to decode someone's behavior. It doesn't require shrinking your needs to make someone comfortable. It doesn't leave you wondering if you're too much or not enough. When you're with someone who's genuinely done the work, there's consistency, communication, repair after conflict. You feel chosen, not tolerated. The best outcome isn't them coming back and realizing what they lost. It's you realizing what you escaped. While they're repeating the same cycle with different faces, you're building something real with someone who can actually show up. If you're still hoping they'll change, still checking if their rebound ended, still leaving the door open, ask yourself this. If they showed up tomorrow with no growth, no therapy, no accountability, just the same person who hurt you, would you actually want them back? Or are you in love with who they could be, not who they are? Think about your last relationship. What would you tell someone you care about if they were going through what you went through? Drop a comment and let me know what advice you'd give to your past self who was waiting for an avoidant to change. I read every single one, and I want to hear your story. You deserve someone who doesn't need a rebound to crash before they appreciate you. Someone who doesn't need to lose you to realize your value. Someone who shows up consistently, not just between distractions. Your avoidant ex's rebound will likely crash. It might take 2 months, it might take 6, but the pattern usually surfaces. And when it does, they may or may not reach out in any meaningful way. But by then, you won't be sitting around wondering, because you'll have done what they haven't yet done.